we at the time was?
Just started.
I'm started?
Yeah.
Oh, hello. How you doing? Yeah, I'm all scratching my nose, and I ain't supposed to do that now, you know? So, okay, today is the last episode of Hemp Fact Friday. You know, we all sat around this morning, had a good little cry about it. But, you know, things must move forward. And today, we're going to talk about we're kind of almost a recap episode, you know, like 21 questions, a lot of questions people ask us most often. Some of those things we sort of touched on as we've done this. This is like a 15 episode series. I think we missed 1 week just the technical difficulties, but we really want to thank anyone who's taken the time during lunchtime on a Friday. Fridays can be a busy day for a lot of people. You're wrapping up your week and such. And thank you for just like hanging out with us for 30 to 45 minutes. You know, sometimes I get a little winded. And, you know, we are preparing for another series. So this is not like, you know, the last time you're ever going to see us. Our next series is going to be Getting Hip with Hemp. We'll tell you that again towards the end, but we're probably preparing for that now. We can take a little time in the summer and enjoy ourselves and our families. Because, you know, as we know, 2020 has taught us you don't really know what's coming our way. So let's get these times in now, and then we kind of reconvene in the fall. So the first question is basically like what? Okay, let's back up. Like, this is like kind of a recap episode, all right? And in a way, you know, we wanted to some things that the questions that we thought that maybe we didn't touch on enough. Maybe we didn't touch on enough times, but people still ask us crazy questions, an amount of questions. And we just, you know, the whole point of this from the beginning was just to answer questions and educate people. And, you know, we felt like a lot of other, not talking high, maybe wrong. A lot of other companies out there were not doing that. And we just really wanted to be a source to provide not only just good products, but quality education. So, what we get asked a lot is, what is your story? Like, what is the cherry blossom story? Story, it kind of goes like this. Me, see, you don't even know, right? It was happening, and this guy right here, okay, okay, he's our production manager, he's our director of operations, his name is Larry, he's awesome, he's the glue that keeps this whole thing together, but him and I met in 7th grade, that's really the beginning of the story, and you know, you go through life, you things together, you kind of go through things separately, he kind of went through his own things, I was going through my own things, but during kind of about our 30s, you know, with me, it was more like I was having problems with knee injuries, I was like lifting weights wrong, hey Kathleen, thank you, and it kind of, I guess most young people are not really taught to lift weights correctly, but what I was doing is kind of doing some damage on my body. I was playing basketball a lot on concrete, so my knees kind of started bothering me, and I had to get some surgeries, and I was looking for other things. I was not a big believer in pharmaceuticals. Had a really good doctor early on and taught me, you know, there are now natural healers out there. You know, you don't have to take these things that could potentially take you down a different path that you don't really want to go. I had no interest in that path. So I started looking for other things, more natural things, and then finally things that were helping me ease my pain and anxiety, and not anxiety, but my pain were cannabinoids, and these products which weren't really very popular at the time. You kind of either search some out or even kind of make them yourself. I don't know. Fast forward 10, 20 years. Me and this guy saw an opportunity. We decided we were going to start kind of playing around with different fats and learning about cannabinoids and how things are fat soluble, and playing with recipes of some sort, and, you know, making butters and putting them on our food and that kind of stuff. And then this kind of 5 or 6 ideas later, here we are. You know, we went out to California and Colorado and started meeting with different people. And a couple of very fortunate, you know, meetings just kind of got us to this point. And, you know, people were trusting in us, even though we were a small company, and gave us a shot. You know, of course, they took our money, of course, you know, but, you know, this is America. Hey, Rachel, how are you? You know, so we decided, you know, friends don't always make good business partners, but it's actually worked out, you know, so we kind of understand who we are to each other, and what we're trying to accomplish, which leads us to question 2. Question 2 is, what is your mission and company philosophy? Okay, so we believe in the power of hemp. I think I've said that here before. As a healer, not only to the planet, but also to the human body. We believe that we are a full spectrum company. And I'm going to get a little bit more into full spectrum, but basically we believe in our products and what we sell, how we educate. Everything that you see on this table back here is full spectrum. And so that is a kind of a synergistic kind of interplay between cannabinoids, terpenes, and flavonoids. We're going to get it a little bit more later. We believe in the synergy of cannabinoids, terpenes, and flavonoids. Some people say cannabinoids, but I don't. I think it sounds. I mean, you don't say canna in any other form of cannabis. It's always cannabinoid. It sounds weird. Like why are you adding this? But cannabinoids, you know. So stupid. We are primarily a B2B company. So we do sell our products retail, but primarily we're here to work with other businesses, and we believe in the power of working with other companies. We want to spread our message and our voice to them, and them being very versed at spreading that to their clients, so that we're believing what we're doing. They can believe in what they're selling. Their clients are believing in the products that they're buying. It all works out, We really are interested in helping businesses become more successful. Not that we're some like business gurus or anything, but we kind of understand a little bit about this product and these products in this industry, and how certain businesses can use them to their advantage to kind of get ahead, or we're all in the midst of making changes right now. Like I said, 2020 has brought a lot of surprises. So this is another opportunity to add to your bottom line, or maybe even help if you're more interested in changing direction. There's people out there who are sitting on the couch. I wish I was in the CBD business. Shoot, man, send us an email. Give us a call. We're here to help smaller business people too. This is exactly the type of people that we want to work with. So this is not just for people with amazingly big pockets. We have more smaller case minimums to work with smaller businesses. So that's kind of who we are. Not that we don't want to work with bigger businesses, but we're not turning away smaller guys either. So that we also. We want to be a resource for hemp products, and we want to help consumers and businesses. We talked about that, and we want to be an educator. Education is the whole reason we started this series. We want to kind of lead with that and put out good quality. So much stuff is out there, so much misinformation. This is like the age of misinformation right now, and so much is out there. We're trying to put out some real stuff, some real meat. Not just red meat, but it's things like, but just something that you can actually sink your teeth into, understand, and make it palatable and digestible. There's always culinary terms. They're getting me hungry at lunchtime here. So, what? Next question. I got my questions over here. I'm trying to kind of wing it. My memory ain't that good. I'm, brother's pushing 50 over here. I got, what makes the Mid-Atlantic a prime growing region for hemp? Well, we are a Mid-Atlantic company. That doesn't mean that we're just based out of the Mid-Atlantic. We gotta be based somewhere. We could be based in Colorado. We could be based in Arizona. We could be based in Vegas. What makes any of those places any better for growing or producing hemp than here? I mean, Colorado may have some argument to that. But I think they're a drier climate. California as well. Not that they still don't work, but hemp wants a mild climate. We want a humid atmosphere. Hemp wants at least 20 to 30 inches of rainfall annually. It wants good, nutrient-rich soil and deep and a well-aerated soil. We want good soil moisture for seed germination, hence the rainfall. And hemp actually, it doesn't need a ton of acreage, a ton of land. Kind of grows bushy and up. So it doesn't need that, even though there is plenty of land here in the Mid-Atlantic. This is a good vegetable growing region. If you think about some of the initial places that, look, Plymouth Rock or Jamestown, in Virginia. All this, from New York and down on to where I say the Carolinas. All these places can be considered the Mid-Atlantic. Pennsylvania, West Virginia. Pennsylvania is a great growing region. You think about the things that come out of here. Food-wise, Rob Wright, what's up? And what's up, cousin? Hi, I love you guys. Thank you guys for paying attention to us. Really, it really means a lot. And people are supporting this out here. So, we just totally believe that the future of hemp growing is probably going to not necessarily is limited to the Western states. We have a lot to offer. People like farmers here pride themselves on producing some of the best produce the country has to offer. It's some of the most the earliest and best growing regions in America. America was built on these growing regions. So, it's a great growing region for tobacco. It's a great growing region for cotton, all sorts of things, potatoes, sweet potatoes. So why wouldn't it be a great growing region for hemp? I mean, it just makes sense. So, and we're banking the farm on that. So there you go. If nothing else, we're supporting our own region that we grew up in. No disrespect to anyone out west. Hey, enough room on the table for everybody. We're trying to make our mark in this thing over here. So props to every single person in the hemp industry in the Mid-Atlantic region. Keep doing what you do and keep pushing this industry forward for us all. Question 4, does consuming hemp oil help boost immunity in people or animals? We're going to just stick with people. We're not going to deal with animals. But sort of, in a way, it does. I mean, it has been, studies have shown that there have been immune boosting properties. I think we talked about piglets a couple weeks ago, and how they were giving them like a seed meal or some sort of hemp meal, and they were eating this, and apparently one of the largest killers of piglets is like some sort of digestive disease. But then you start eating this hemp, it doesn't go away, but it minimized this. It minimized the deaths in these early young piglets. So, but as far as people go, it's kind of a yes and no. It does help. There's some studies that show that it has immune boosting properties. And we actually promote that. I totally believe that. But unfortunately, a lot of these studies, because of the way hemp has been, situated legally for the last God knows how long, almost 100 years, haven't been able to do the research on it. So just in the last couple of years, so we're getting more answers. However, because CBD works as an anti-inflammatory and an immunosuppressant, it may not necessarily be an immune supplement choice for a healthy person, but for someone who has an autoimmune disease, CBD can be a real game changer. Autoimmune disease is when your immune system does not work properly, and instead of attacking the foreign microbes and pathogens, your immune system mistakenly attacks you. It attacks your healthy cells, your tissue, your organs, and it's kind of like, the body sort of victimizing itself in a way, Now, CBD is like an immunosuppressant and what do you call it? An immunomodulator. It has anti-inflammatory properties. Like, what does that mean? I don't totally know, but it does have anti-inflammatory properties. Inflammation can cause or contribute to many many autoimmune diseases. God bless, a lot of multi-syllable words here today. So and taking CBD can help reduce that inflammation. Not only that, but those who have hyperactive immune systems that end up attacking themselves can benefit from the immunosuppressant properties that CBD offers. So if you understand, some people who do have autoimmune diseases and do take hemp, and even in younger people, it can really be a game changer. So I'm not trying to rush through these things, but this is a recap. This is not, we're not going into these subjects in depth, but we just want to answer some questions. Can hemp oil kill COVID-19 and other bacteria? Will it kill COVID-19? Will it stop it? I gotta say no. There has been talk about it may help because it does have antimicrobial properties, antibacterial properties. However, as we talked about a couple weeks ago, we were talking about antifungal, antiviral, antimicrobial study of CBD topicals done by Dr. Mark Blaskovich of Australia's University of Queensland Institute of Molecular Biosciences Center for Superbug Solution. You put that on a business card, it'd be like this long, right? So, Dr. Blaskovich found that CBD had an amazing ability to kill a wide range of pathogens. Studies also found it did not lose its effectiveness with extended use and treatment, which means it didn't just kill it for a couple weeks and then it stopped working, So, and has a potential to be an antibiotic. Additionally, studies found that CBD was just as potent as some commonly used antibiotic medications. And also, this is disrupted biofilm, a form of bacterial growth that leads to hard to treat infections. So, I hope that answers part of that question, but it's not going to stop you from getting COVID-19. No, it's not. Let's see, what do we got here? 6. How can hemp oil be beneficial to my dog or cat? Well, let's see. Let's talk about it. CBD may help ease your dog's lack of appetite, separation anxiety, excessive barking, nausea from car rides. A lot of leads to like rooted in anxiety. Lack of vitality or pain, pain, vitality, lack of vitality or energy. Anxiety when they're getting like car rides, trips to the vet or groomer. They know this stuff. They're not dumb, as we all know. Muscle spasms or seizures, pain or help with symptoms of cancer or arthritis, recovery from surgery or illness, pacing or inability to relax or settle, which is anxiety, fear of thunderstorms, fireworks or loud noises, sudden loud anxiety. Sometimes other animals or other people being in their space, grumpiness or aggression towards another. And with cats, a lot of similar benefits. Sometimes cats get a little funny when they have a multi-cat household. You gotta throw another cat or something in there, or maybe another dog, or a dog in there. They're like, they're freaking out, And cats are a little temperamental and sensitive anyway, Help with appetite issues. Sometimes cats like to hide out and they're constantly hiding, which all this is telling you, anxiety issues. It's like funny, the animals do get anxiety just like people. They do. Muscle spasms or seizures, pain from cancer, pain from arthritis or symptoms of, crying or meow for no apparent cause. What else? Again, trips to the vet, they know as well. Distress from a change of environment, or with other animals. So, as far as you got to look for any possible. Of course, you check with your vet before you give them anything, or you make decisions for your animals. We're not telling you what and what not to do, but some negative, if there are negative effects, it says changes in appetite and maybe some changes in mood. I mean, every mammal has an endocannabinoid system. We're going to touch on that in a few minutes. And just like your respiratory system, your nervous system, they're all different, So one may take to certain cannabinoids or hemp oil, CBD differently. Their level of bioavailability in each individual animal may be different, So just because you have two animals and you're giving the same thing, it works one way or another, just like anything else. It may work. We're all chemically different, so it may work differently in one animal to the next. So you just say, oh, well, it just doesn't work. Or maybe the product that you're using doesn't work. Maybe it's the wrong product, and we'll get to a little bit of that later. Okay. Where are we at here? With so many different types of hemp oil, how do I know what to take? What types are they? And how do they differ? We're not going to go deep into that, but we're going to sort of touch on it a little bit, okay? So, types of oils, where are we at? Hemp seed oils, there is rich CBD or phytocannabinoid rich cannabis oil. I don't know what the heck that is. Full spectrum, broad spectrum, isolates. There are more like extractions, like butter, shatter. There is, what else is there? Diamond, sauce, live resin. So all these different things that are all considered CBD oil. And that's such a broad range of things. And almost like you gotta take some of these and like make some like categories and subcategories. So like what is, the hemp seed oil? It's processed from seeds. It has some therapeutic value, and it does have some of the, I think there's no terpenes or flavonoids, but I think there is the amino acids are present in there. It does contain some of the gamma linoleic acid. What else? Broad spectrum. And broad spectrum is almost like full spectrum, but the THC has been taken out. Full spectrum is a full spectrum of cannabinoids, terpenes, and flavonoids. As we said that before, we're going to say that again. Broad spectrum has all those things in there except for the THC. So every other compound that's represented in the plant is generally there, but they kind of first process a little bit further. CBD rich or phytocannabinoid rich cannabis oil is kind of unclear. We don't really know what that is. So, I mean, like I said, this is not, boohooing anybody else's terms, their business, their concept. But you're putting this stuff on there. Who knows what this is? It could be anything. Isolate. Isolate is just a isolated compound. It's an isolated CBD compound. Usually when you see it's like 99.9% pure, because all the other parts of that plant have been separated, and just the one compound, CBD, is there. Cannabis sativa hemp extract. That could be anything. As we know, cannabis sativa is synonymous for marijuana or hemp. They're all in the same family. So, what are we talking about when you say that? So, if I'm talking to other producers, you got to be specific when you're telling people exactly like what they are, unless you're not trying to be specific. That's a whole other issue. So, if you're not being clear, then how do you expect people to really believe in your products? So we're going to kind of leave that at that. But as far as like shatter, sauce, butter, live resin, diamonds, a lot of those are different types of dabbable extracts. We're going to touch on that a little bit later too. But they can be CO2 extracted. They could you're not really getting ethanol extracted shatter or anything, but usually it's either CO2 or some sort of hydrocarbon extraction process, BHO or something like that. So usually it's done in some of those higher quality extracts, because you want not just to extract cannabinoids, but you're trying to extract terpenes as well, flavonoids, sometimes even chlorophyll. So depends on what you're trying to accomplish. So we're going to, like I said, we'll touch on that, but we'll keep on moving. Why would I choose a full spectrum product or oil over an isolate or broad spectrum product? Okay, because I'll tell you why you should, and maybe why you shouldn't. So again, we believe in full spectrum. Full spectrum is, like I said, a full array of cannabinoids, terpenes, and flavonoids. They're all represented in the oil or product. Nothing is eliminated, nothing is isolated, no isolated compounds. Like everything that is there representing that plant should be represented in the oil. We'll get to that towards the end, Kathleen. Kathleen had a question. When will the elderly want to try CBD? What should they be mindful of? We're going to talk about that at like question 20. Question like later in the 19 through 20, we're going to get into some of that. But not just the elderly, just everybody, like what you should be mindful of. But definitely, particularly the elderly, sometimes the elderly are on, if there's a negative to taking CBD oil or any sort of hemp oil, they don't always work well with blood thinners. More than likely, younger people are not going to be on blood thinners. Usually that is, not saying limited to older people, but usually when you come in need for blood thinners, some people when they get a little bit older, so there's that. So that is something that the older participants or older clients should be looking out for. As far as full spectrum, getting back to that, everything is represented in that oil that should be represented in the plant. Everything that is beneficial to us, that is naturally occurring in the plant, are also represented in the products. And we believe in that synergy, that entourage effect. Now, if there are people who cannot have, when they say a full spectrum of cannabinoids, let's touch on that, because that means there is trace amounts of THC, that 0.3. Any more than 0.3 is you live in another state where things are a little more acceptable, like California and Colorado. But for the rest of us, we got to stay with 0.3. 0.3 is the maximum amount of THC allowed in any product. It's not enough to get anyone high. It's just a naturally occurring thing in hemp. It is part of the cannabis sativa family, so it's just not one of the ones that are high in THC. But however, that THC is doing something. It's part of the full spectrum of cannabinoids, terpenes, and flavonoids. But if you cannot have that, the next best option is probably broad spectrum. Broad spectrum has everything that is represented in the plant, but it's been further processed to remove the THC. So hope that sort of answers that question. Let's go on to question 9. Question 9. What is the endocannabinoid system? What is it? We hear all this stuff, or some people call it the ECS for short. Endocannabinoid system was discovered in 1992 at the Hebrew University in Jerusalem by Drs. Lumir Hannes and Dr. William Devane. It was initially called the endocannabinoid anandamide. Anandamide. And ananda is, sometimes like these things, scientific names, these names come from something, usually some sort of Latin name, but then this, so it was more of a Hindu term. Ananda is a term used more Hindu and Buddhism to mean extreme happiness or one of the highest states of being. That is not by mistake. So, what else? Oh, okay. And things we have learned that the endocannabinoid system helps establish and maintain homeostasis or balance between the various systems in your body. Your body produces endocannabinoids as needed. Your body, let's start with your body. You, every single one of you and the dog sitting next to you, the cat too, are producing endocannabinoids. You just think you're just producing enough for yourself? Maybe you are, maybe you're not. You don't produce enough vitamin C for yourself, so you go out and you get fruit, you get supplements. Do you produce enough iron for yourself? Some of you do, some of you don't. And if you don't, you go out and you get supplements, Boom, just that logical. Same thing. So your body produces endocannabinoids. And if you're not producing enough of them by yourself, or you're not getting enough on your own, then what do? You got to go find them elsewhere. Where else are they found? In plants called phytocannabinoids. See what I'm saying? It's also common sense. So you go out there, you find these things, and you put them into your body because your body needs them, it wants them, it's asking for them. So that's that endocannabinoid system. We have plenty of systems in your body. We talked about this once. I got to get that list of systems. I should have got a list of systems. If you want a list of systems, email us, daggone it, at info@cherryblossom.cbd, or operations@cherryblossom.cbd. You go ahead and put in a web site submission, and it will come to every single person of any importance in this company. All right, and dog it, you will get what we tell you you're gonna get. So let's go into what's the next question? Explain in simple terms what terpenes are and their impact and the synergy with cannabinoids. Okay, let's do that. Terpenes are organic hydrocarbons that plants manufacture and act as defense mechanism to deter herbivores. So think of it like skunk scent, for a mammal, for a skunk. He has this scent and he sprays it off to deter, not herbivores, carnivores. Yes. But plants, they can't run, they can't hide, they're just stuck there in the ground. So what are you going to do? You still have to sometimes deter people or animals that may want to consume you. So, and a lot of plants have these. A lot of plants have terpenes. It's not just talking about cannabis plants or things that are regulated or reserved for hemp. They are the organic compounds of the plant and emit strong odors and fragrances. How do they help people? Well, they help us by interacting with the neurological and kind of receptors, and to provide some of the same benefits as antidepressant medicines. So, so these sort of neurological and organic biological receptors are, we call CB1 and CB2, receptors. They're like molecules in your body. And we're going to touch on a little bit of that in a second. But, so what is that? They're cannabinoids. Cannabinoids are what? Cannabinoids are chemical compounds that are produced in the resin of cannabis sativa plants, phytocannabinoids. Just talked about that. Cannabinoids are simply just that, chemical compounds. So when you say you have an isolated compound or an isolate, that's what it is. It's that one compound of the hundreds of cannabinoids in the plant. We're learning to isolate these, the CBNs, the CBGs, the THC. So all different individual compounds, but they have to be labeled cannabinoids. They are. So they're producing the resins of cannabis sativa plants. They have a positive, even pharmacological impact on our immune, central nervous system, and cognitive functions. They interact, or even sometimes attach, to these molecules in our body, these receptors, and there's the CB1 and CB2 receptors. And we're attached to CB1, kind of like interact with CB2. It's really, but for the sake of this conversation, they did interact with the CB1 and CB2 receptors and cause sort of a lock and key effect, on these receptors, allowing the benefits to sort of step in and go to work, so boom, and flavonoids. So this is all the three components that we're talking about that make full spectrum. Flavonoids are a class of plant pigments having a structure belonging to polyphenols, and that is a group of phytonutrients. Nutrients coming from plants. Just that simple. So again, a class of plant pigments having a structure belonging to polyphenols. So if you think about what's happening here, okay, you have terpenes that are impacting fragrance, and you have flavonoids that are impacting flavor. Okay, so in plants, they protect from flavonoids, protect from the environmental toxins, and help repair damage done to the plant. But in humans, they offer an antioxidant protections, they promote skin health and skin protection, improve brain function, and help regulate blood sugar and blood pressure. So these like people ask you, how does hemp do all these things? Why does cannabis do all these things? This is why, because they're studied with terpenes, flavonoids, and cannabinoids. All these things are there helping you. It's not just about the CBD. So if you're just about the CBD, go buy the CBD. Go get isolate-based products. You can get like 10,000 milligrams of CBD in like a vial. You know what I mean, or whatever they want to tell you. But whatever. So either way,
You just don't work up there.
yeah, it's like I didn't know. So, not to say that the isolation isn't valuable. It's just like, to me, the way they're selling it just doesn't make sense. It's just like, oh well, it might as well be selling oil. Just like just sell some cooking oil or something. What are you gonna do? So, how does hemp oil help the skin? A lot of people want to know this. This is a very popular question, and I think people should know this. Because I think there's a lot of potential benefit to us knowing how these things can help our skin and our hair. Hemp oil helps to control acne, eczema, and psoriasis. Psoriasis is caused by a deficiency in omega-6 fatty acids. Hemp oil helps hydrate the skin. Hey, Valerie! Valerie is not just a watcher; she's also a client, and that is special. Thank you, Valerie. Hemp oil helps hydrate the skin. Hemp oil helps bring oxygen to the skin. This makes it beneficial for sufferers with acne, eczema, and with minimizing itchy, irritated skin, and minimizing like redness. It helps with acne, and hemp oil is rich in antioxidants as well as vitamin A and E, potassium, phosphorus, calcium, zinc, iron, magnesium. And ingesting hemp oil improves blood flow through the skin. I'm having a hard time getting words out today for some reason, but thank you. Just bear with me. It's coming out. Yes, I did. And actually, they're loaded with antioxidants to help slow a cell or prevent cell damage. Also, fats and lipids are in hemp oil. And fats and lipids are similar to those found naturally in our skin. So a lot of things are going on here that are already benefited us. But wait, there's more. Okay? Helps to nourish the skin, reduce the sign of aging, helps treat and reduce the symptoms of like acne or inflammation, of course, as we already know that. Helps with eczema, helps with psoriasis. Lichen planus, I don't know if I said that correct. As we know, it's antibacterial and antimicrobial. It's anti-inflammatory. It helps manage the sebum production. Sebum is that little greasy stuff that comes on, when, especially like when you're a teenager, all the stuff is happening. And like, why do I have all this acne? It's sebum. It's sebum production gone like out of whack. It starts producing too much, and then these things produce like, bumps, cysts, things like that. Acne, and just overactive sebum production. It can help with atopic dermatitis. And some people do use it for rosacea and skin cancer. I think rosacea is a form of skin cancer. If I'm correct about that. Now, how can you use this? You can add this to your shampoo. You can add it to your conditioner. If you're just using like whole hemp oil like this. This is just CO2 extracted, full spectrum CO2 extracted oil. Again, everything's represented in the plant, represented here. You can take this multiple different ways, but you can also add this to your own products. So you got like a foot cream, put it in there. You get hand sanitizer. You see, we talked about Dr. Buds a couple weeks ago. Hand sanitizer, putting this stuff in there now. Lotions, balms. So you see all these things are coming out because fat goes into fat. Fat is fat soluble, of course. So and most of these things have some sort of fats in them. I mean, we're going to see this stuff in hand soap soon. So especially being that there's antibacterial, antimicrobial quality. So very, very good stuff. That is super, super, super stuff. Next question. How about my hair? How can this stuff be good for my hair? All right. I'll tell you, we have loaded you with content already. We're only 12 questions in. You know what I'm saying? So, how can it be good for your hair? And I've been trying to tell all the hair professionals that I know about this. Like, you have such an opportunity right now. They need to get involved. You be this conduit for your clients. I'm telling you, they're gonna love you. All amino acids, 3, 6, and 9. The amino acids, the building blocks of protein, vitamins, keratin, lipids. We talked about sebum, sebum production. Excuse me, I said all 3 amino acids, all 21 amino acids. Omega 3, 6, and 9. No, they're all there. They are there, with fatty acids. So, the benefits of hemp oil to your hair, it can help moisturize the scalp, as we just talked about. With more scalp is skin, so it'll help moisturize the scalp and hair follicles. Nourishes hair and scalp with essential amino acids and fatty acids, as we just mentioned. Gives the body gives a boost of antioxidants and minerals, including vitamin A, E, calcium, magnesium. Of course, its antioxidants protect cells. Of course, we talked about sebum production. Sebum is the body's own mix of natural oils. Oil is generally good for hair. It is. It is part of the hair follicle itself. Primarily used to lubricate and protect skin and hair, and stimulates hair growth. That's a whole other benefit of sebum. It stimulates hair growth. That's fantastic. Okay. Also, we know that hemp oil helps reduce pain and inflammation. So I don't know how much that has to do with your hair, but definitely give you a little. If you're having pain and inflammation on your head, just put it on there. I don't know, but it will release some stress, and it does. It is kind of relaxing. So you want to use a nice one, like a scalp massage. It would really, really work well with that. As you know, hemp oil is mood boosting. It does not get you high, but it is mood boosting. How does that happen? Is that it does not add serotonin, but it naturally, your body, through the endocannabinoid system and these receptors, helps you produce its own serotonin levels. So your body is boosting its own serotonin levels as this is happening. Pretty amazing stuff. So, oh yeah, I think we talked about terpenes already, but also we have a terpene chart. You want a terpene chart, cannabinoid chart? Email, same place, info@shareaboutscbd.com. Operations, or you can put it in a website submission. Say, look, we want the terpene chart, we cannabinoids chart, we want it, and give you some great quality information about different types of terpenes and cannabinoids. Question 13, is hemp oil or hemp seeds a good source of protein? Yes, 25% of all the protein in seed, or excuse, 25%, seeds are 25% protein, basically. So by weight, hemp seeds offer a similar amount of protein as beef or lamb. So like 2 to 3 tablespoons, or like 30 grams of seeds equals like 11 grams of protein. That comes from healthline.com. So 25% of the calories, I should say, in hemp seeds come from protein. So that's what that was. Can't read my own handwriting today, so I apologize about that. How many ways can you consume, use, or ingest hemp oil? And we came up with 5. Okay, oral, sublingual, topical. You can smoke it or vape it. Smoke it or vape it are both sort of like intranasal means of ingestion. But so if you want to say 4, but to me, smoking and vaping are different things. So at Cherry Blossom, we say there's 5 ways to do it. Before, I think we were sticking with 3, but not really considering the smoking and the vaping. And definitely as things are becoming more popular, like people call us, even just yesterday, we got a call from somebody asking for a smokable hemp. We don't sell smokable products as of yet, though. And why would you choose any of these methods? So just so you know, oral methods are fun. You know, like edibles and things like that. Everybody loves edibles. Everybody loves gummies. Cherry Blossom, we got 3 different flavors of gummies, all made out of organic fruit and vegetable juices. They're delicious. They are delicious. 10 milligrams of CBD a piece. Then you got like 15 calories, 2 grams of fat in each gummy. 30 in a pack. Awesome. Shameless plug. So oral applications, you get about, we talked about bioavailability a couple weeks ago. And these different ingestion methods have different levels of bioavailability. So oral methods are like 10 to 20%, which means like if you had 100 milligrams of CBD in your edible, you would probably get 10 to 20 milligrams of CBD once it's processed through your digestive system. Sublingually, you have 13 to 20%, so that goes under the tongue. It seems like it's the same place, but like eating something and going over the tongue and dropping something on your tongue, 2 totally different forms of ingestion. There's definitely a lot of tissue, open tissue up here, and it just quickly absorbs to your body. And you do get generally a higher bioavailability rate than with oral. You can get as low as 5 or 6% with sort of an oral application. Topicals are sometimes they're unknown, but if you are looking for topicals, the words you want to look for on a topical application is transdermal. I don't think these studies have been totally learned yet, but transdermal means that it's not just sitting on top of your skin, it's actually absorbing through the skin. All right? Transdermal lotion, transdermal, absorbs into the skin. All right? That's what you want. That's the love you need from a topical. Smoking and vaping, though. Smoking and vaping. There's much talk when you talk about smoking and vaping. Intranasal methods are 30 to 34 to 46% on average bioavailability. That's a lot. That's a lot. That kicks any of these other methods butts, you know, as far as bioavailability percentages. So there is something to be said for smoking and vaping, and we will get back to that later in the program. So question 15. Yeah, so we're not trying to keep you guys here all day, so we're getting pretty close. Will I be able to drive or operate heavy machinery once I have dosed or ingested CBD or hemp oil? Yes, you will. Why? Because it's non-psychoactive. Your serotonin levels may be boosted. You may feel better, but you're not going to be high or any sort of limited cognitive function. That's not what this does. Other things will do that, but not this. And no high, no psychoactive effects, and no addictive properties whatsoever. You can take that to the bank. What is the best type of oil, hemp oil, for anxiety? To me, you want to get a full spectrum oil. I'll give you about 3 options here. You want to get a full spectrum oil, either something like the whole hemp here, or something that got all in a full array of cannabinoids, terpenes, or flavonoids. Unless you cannot. If you're being drug tested, you can't have any traces of THC in your body. You want to get a broad spectrum oil, a broad spectrum product. It could be broad spectrum gummies. It could be a broad spectrum, I don't know, patch. You got a patch, you want to walk around with a patch on all day and do that, it's fine. Everybody has a preferred method or preferred medium they want to use these products or this type of oil. But I have to tell you, vaping, a vapable extract is very good for CBD. So you want to get a vape pen, if you can get maybe some sort of pen that holds concentrates, and you want to get some sort of dabbable concentrate, that would be excellent. Okay, Todd, what's up, buddy? How are you today? Thank you for joining. And a lot of things happened in 2019 with vaping. 2019, we had the big vape scare towards the end of the year, probably about starting this time last year. A lot of it had to do with cartridges. People were using some sort of vitamin E additive and put it in the distillate. Usually the cartridges are made with either a distillate or a CO2 extract. However, some of these unscrupulous manufacturers, they just didn't care. They were more interested in making money than being concerned with public health. And that is a big problem. So, but people have come back. They're coming back to vaping, and it has rebounded. And we do think that it is safe. And vaping is definitely the single best way. If you have anxiety issues and you want to shut it down quickly, and it's not going to take an hour like an edible to go through your system. We're talking about, a few minutes through the lungs, just like, I don't know if anyone's ever smoked a cigarette, but that sensation that you get when you smoke happens pretty quickly. And so because this is happening through the lungs, Hey Raquel, how you doing out there? So this is the same thing, and just because, and I know I use smoking as an analogy, but this is just to talk about that. The analogy is really more about what the intranasal method and how quickly and how effective and the bioavailability rate can be. So if you're using the right products and you're using safe products and you have anxiety that sometimes it may get away from you or you need to shut down quickly, this is a great way to do that. Great way. Go ahead. I can't, the more that we've learned about vaping, like the more that I'm kind of on board with what's happening there in that arena. So, average recommended dosage. Hey, Virginia. JFK for life. I love it. So, Virginia, thank you for watching. Thank you for being with us. Much appreciated. And we appreciate all the people who love and support us. And you definitely one. So, thank you very much. Average recommended dosage. Daily average in people is probably about 25 to 50 milligrams. I would say more like 25. Some people may take 10. Again, everyone's endocannabinoid system is different, and we all have different levels of bioavailability. Just like your metabolism, or oral metabolisms are different. Some are moving faster than others. I had a young lady, Blakely. She's on my insurance agent. You want great insurance? Write Gardner Insurance, Hagerstown. Okay, awesome, Hagerstown, Maryland. But she was telling me that she was on like a half a gummy, and that was enough for her for a while. And it seemed so crazy to me, like half a gummy, like really that was enough, whereas her husband would eat like 3, so different levels of bioavailability, different, we're all chemically different. So just because like one thing may be working on you, and don't get frustrated, or if it's working on somebody else, don't get frustrated because it's not working the exact same in you. It could be that way with anything. But generally, yes, I would say 25 milligrams would be a good place to start if you're shooting for that, or 20, so that could be 2 gummies, let's say half a dropper of some whole hemp. In pets, of course, it's a little bit different. In pets, it's more like a 1 to 5 milligrams, per dose, and start on the lower side, start on the medium, middle to lower side of this, because, like I said, everyone's different. It's like an ibuprofen. It doesn't always work, for everyone every time. So, and that's just the truth. I know people are making a lot of crazy claims, but we're here to spit the truth, not spit crazy claims. Okay, God, we're moving along. We're almost there. We're almost there. What is the best time to use CBD? Up to you, really. There's no best time. There's no worst time. Use hemp oil, I should say. There really isn't a best or worst time. Like if you're having knee pain, and acute knee pain, a joint pain, probably the best time to use this transdermal lotion would be right now. So it's like if you're trying to go out and do something athletic and you're not feeling like yourself today, there's just, if you're any young people out there, I'm gonna give you a heads up. You get a little older, you're gonna start feeling stuff every day. Sometimes your knees, your back, your elbow, your wrist, whatever. You know what I mean? Your neck. So sometimes we need a little extra. Some people use Bengay or what have you, but this is a good option if that's not, what you want to use or something like that. A good transdermal, something that's actually not just sitting on your skin, but actually getting through your skin barrier into your bloodstream. Like, if not doing that, then what's the point? And you want the gummies, take them in the morning, take them at night. What are you trying to accomplish? So if you want to go pain-free throughout the day, or be pain-free, but get some relief of your pain, I would take it in the morning. Especially if you're like, you got a rough day, there's a potential that you may be in more pain by the end of the day. Take it in the morning. Maybe take it in the morning and the evening. Give yourself a little something before you go and something before you get home. If you're taking this to get a little more relaxation, and a lot of people just take it about an hour or 2 before bed. It is fat soluble, so if you eat it before a meal, we're consuming some sort of fats when we have our meal. That kind of helps that push through your system, so sort of mix it in and helps that get through your bloodstream. So again, there's no right answer or wrong answer to that. It's totally up to you. This is a funny question, and we do get asked this a lot, and usually I steer away from this question, but today we're going to address it. I think we talking about elderly before, but is hemp oil or CBD oil safe or okay for children, for my child? That is debatable. There's a lot of talk and back and forth, and my answer would be it's situational, and that's parental discretion. We're not here at Cherry Bluff and tell people how to raise their children. We're here to give quality information that you can make informed decisions for yourself. But understand, sometimes, like in our products, we're full spectrum, there's trace amount of cannabis in there. THC, I should say. And giving THC to children, I don't care what state you're in, is probably illegal. So that's something to consider. If you could look for a broad spectrum product, something that has no THC in it, if you choose to go that route. I know that, for a lot of people who are using this in children, they have more, it's not the right word, like serious or concerning, maybe even life-changing diseases or ailments. And, the reality is that if that is the case, you're probably going to be giving your child something, some sort of pharmaceutical or something to help them. And there's probably just as much chance, you do your research, is that some of these could be harmful to your child as well. So like maybe, and I'm not saying that hemp oil is harmful to them, but if that is your concern, then there's just the same concern with using any other product, with your child. It's always this, it's my kid, you know what I mean? It's my child, I'm here to protect this little person. Again, that's parental discretion. I would say always check with your doctor, always check your state laws, and I would look for a product. Start low if you're going to give it to them, as far as low dosage, but look for products that have no THC in them, just to keep yourself and your children safe. What should I look for? This is kind of question 2 or part 2 of the for elderly. But what should I look for? But this is for everyone really. When I'm looking for or shopping for hemp products or CBD products, well, of course you want to have a label, and on that label there should be certain things. There should be what's on there. For example, let's get here. Every one of our labels, the hemp extract supplement. That's exactly what we have. We have hemp extract supplements. On our capsules, hemp extract supplement. These are premium kind of botanical capsules. So what else should be here? There should be some supplemental facts, where, it tells you like what a serving is or what a dosage is, what is in here, what are the active ingredients, what are the ingredients? Is there some sort of warning or disclaimer? There should be some sort of address, like where is there companies or a website, like who are we getting this up? Some people making this in their bathroom, putting vitamin E additive in there, who knows, but just because it says CBD and you get it wherever doesn't mean that. There are a lot of very reputable businesses that shop price first, and if they're the cheapest thing, they'll put it on their shelf. They won't even review it. They'll leave you to review it. Okay, well, sometimes it happens before you take it, sometimes it happens after you take it. So I would do that homework first. I would say a full or broad spectrum product. As we just talked about, if you can't have trace amounts of THC, you want none, you go broad spectrum. Or even if you just want CBD, go for an isolate-based product. Sometimes you see like 7,500 milligrams. That's full spectrum products aren't going to do that. Broad spectrum products aren't going to do that. You see that more likely you have an isolate-based product. Again, make sure the company is verifiable, and then go on their website. You go on their website, just got to get an idea of who they are, like what they're all about, what their mission is. Sometimes you can tell people's intentions just by their website. They can't hide it. They can't help it. Check and see if they have COAs or certificates of analysis of their products. That's lab testing. So you say COA, that's synonymous with lab testing. You want to know there's no heavy metals in there or residual solvents. You want to know that your THC levels or your CBD levels are exactly what they say they are. It's what's represented in your product is what's in there. What shouldn't be there is not in there. And again, for topicals, you like to look for the word transdermal. You want to see that it's actually absorbed into your skin and not something just, I could float anything on top of my skin, but then it's just a moisturizer. So what's the point of putting the CBD in there or the hemp oil in there if it's not actually sinking into the skin and getting to where you want to go? Especially if you're putting it for the sake of your joints, you need that. That's exactly what you're using it for. So that was 21 questions. I don't know how much time that took today, but that was it. Wow, really? I've been talking my face off today. So we did want to give you some quality content. We want to end with a bang. We went with an hour today. So It's props. It's props. We give props every single week. And this week, props are to you. We give props to two groups of people. To you, people who are out there watching us, for even opting in. Thank you. Thank you for joining us on your Friday lunch. I know today we're taking up a lot of that. Thanks for listening. Especially thank you for sharing these videos and sharing this information with other people. Also, thank you for all of those in this industry, especially those people in the Mid-Atlantic that are pushing this forward. They're trying to go out there, they're doing this the right way, that are doing this, they're reputable businesses, they're not trying to take people's money, and that really want to educate people and being the proper resources that we should be, and the proper representatives. It doesn't grow, this only hurts us if we're out there being charlatans. So it's no bueno. You know, if you guys call these people out, get them out of here, you know, get them out of our game, you get them out of our business. We don't want them here. To close today, we want to thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for, watching me kind of figure all this out. Just kind of, this is ideas that sort of came, boom. And I hope that we've offered some quality content. Look out for our next series, Getting Hip with Hemp. We're going to talk about some different things that are not just facts, but trying to go into a couple of different, rabbit holes with this whole hemp thing and kind of give you a little more perspective and insight. Please, follow us on Facebook, like us on Facebook, Twitter, Cherry, at Cherry_CBD, every place else. We are at Cherry Blossom CBD. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Cherry Blossom CBD, and please share our videos. Again, hopefully we've been a good resource for you. We've answered some questions. We're going to come back, and we're going to come back strong. So let's get a little vacation time in, get ourselves together, all right? Already got rid of the Frovid, okay, because it's getting hot. It's 90 degrees here. So we thank you so much, and we will see you soon. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.